81, and we are the partners of Solarian Games. I'm Jason.
I'm Peter, but it looks like I'm breaking up.
Okay, Peter, if you want to try to just leave and come back, I will go ahead and tell everybody what we have for the stories to begin, and we'll see if Peter gets back here with a better connection in just a moment. All right, so the stories for today. Patreon. The Solarian Patreon is coming up with the latest info, and Peter will be telling us all about that. It's massive. Here's a big scandal. Hasbro is being sued, really sued, for allegedly dumping Magic the Gathering in a landfill. And we are going to be talking about the rise of the owl bear. And finally, in a blow to my own purchasing power, Munchkin Second Edition is coming out. So, all right, Peter, why don't you kick us off?
Okay, yes, let's do that. I've been working really hard on it. Oh my God, for the past, I don't know, week or so. And we have a massive Patreon going up this month. It's bigger than I had intended, but once I got into it, I couldn't turn back. So is what it is, right? So if you're unfamiliar, we have a Patreon that we put out every month. Usually I'm on time, but again, I overdid it this month, so I'm 2 days late. But it's going to go live in 49 minutes. Um, Four of them, actually, four books. I have a fifth one that'll go up either tomorrow or the next day. I didn't want to rush it. It's the free one, so that's okay because all the paid people get theirs on time or roughly on time. The free one will go up, and we'll get into it. So anyway, the first one. Oh yeah, and this stuff is all primarily top secret for right now because top secret is our flagship product. So and it's mostly what we do stuff for at the moment. That is about to change very soon. But we are, or at least what I'm putting up for Patreon right now is mostly top secret. So, first thing I'm going to go into real quick is Germany. So, every month I tend to, at least I have so far, do a book, a world book on a country. I pick a country in the world and I mostly just gather facts about it. I mean, it's pretty much, go on the web and search and grab a bunch of facts and then correlate it together in a format that's, you not unique, uh, uh,
Dedicated.
dedicated. That's it. Dedicated format that I've been using all year. Anyway, so then the one thing I do add to it is I add mission ideas to it. So everything is written in the within the world of top secret. So how does this affect your icon agents? Because anyone can go look up Germany and get information on it. But
It's
if you're
right there in the middle of South America. No trouble finding it. Just get all your info.
right,
It's a 14-year-old country with over 50 people living in it. I know all about Germany.
yeah. So, but if what does that mean for like running spy adventures? And that's where, or as we like to say, action thriller adventures. So then I throw in some missions at the end of it, and they're just a couple paragraphs here and there. It's not like a full adventure. You would have to write your own, adventure from it, but it gives you everything you really need to get you started. The basic concept, some things that can happen in the adventure, some conflicts that you might have. So that's Germany. Um, and that one turned out to be 18 pages, which was a few more pages than I had planned on, but it is what it is. Then the next one is it's SI, which stands for I can always screw this up.
The secret intelligence of Germany,
It's
basically.
special intelligence. Yeah, so it's this one's special intelligence Germany, but I also threw in the special operations forces, which is SOF. So you've got these are all the different like counter spy agencies, and then some of the special forces and stuff from Germany, stuff that icon agents might run into. And it basically, again, it's another go out, look stuff up, collect the data, put it in the format that it needs to be in. I don't write any adventures for this. This is literally a tool for anyone running adventures to pull from and say, well, they're going to be operating in Germany on this thing. Who might go up against them? And you can look through here and you'll find exactly who it's supposed to be because it outlines what they do, like what their jurisdiction is and all that. The next, and that one was 19 pages. Then for the Seeker. That was for the Navigator level. For the Seeker level, this is one I've been wanting to do for a long time. It is a company that has it has its own OS. They've built their own OS. One of the policies we've taken at Solarian Games, especially when it comes to Top Secret, is that when we include corporations that the agents could interact with, we're making up all our own, because we don't want to, if the agents are interacting with them, they're doing bad stuff or they're being implicated in bad stuff. So we don't want to name real organizations, because that could get a little, dicey. So, so we've invented all our own, or I'm inventing them, or we're inventing them as we go. This one is a software company, and it's a recent software company. So it's sort of like, you have Windows and Apples. This one's been around only about 5 years, but it has integrated AI into the software itself, not for you to use like to search things or make things. It actually causes the software to adapt to what you're doing. So when you open up your computer, if you check your email, the first thing you do is check your email. That's probably already open for you. It does stuff like that. But of course, it wouldn't be a fun adventure or fun book for Top Secret if things didn't go, hinky. So of course there are, questionable things that the AI is doing across secure platforms and stuff like that. And then there's some missions that get involved in that.
And I love the logo for it, the Blue Adept logo. For people who are listening on the audio right now, you've got this cybernetic brain kind of image inside of a triangle. And as we all know, a triangle is a great symbol of conspiracies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so and the two little arrows, everything has a meaning. So the two little arrows, I kind of half stole something from a TV show called Silicon Valley. They had this thing called middle out, compression. So Phoenix OS also uses middle out compression. It's sort of this semi-fictional, like a conceptual way to compress data in a super efficient way. So that's what the two arrows mean. They make middle out, and then the brain, of course, is the AI, and then that the triangle sort of, like you said, Illuminati with a little double entendre there. So
yeah, and it's a nice what do you call it, Easter egg for people who like things like Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
I've actually never watched it, because having worked most of my career in Silicon Valley, I don't need the PTSD.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because they do. Apparently it's supposed to be this really good parody of all the garbage that goes on in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, these are not the people that you want to have running the world, but that's who we got.
Yeah, oh my God, I love the show because it's just, it's funny. Anyway,
yeah, because you can view it from a distance. You don't have to go, oh, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that guy. Yeah, that's terrible.
Right, exactly. Yeah, if you did an engineering show, I might not be able to watch it if it was a parody. I'd be like, oh my God.
I bet it's a great show, and there's a whole lot of stuff I would love to catch, but like I said, I would just get traumatized. So.
Right. So anyway, so this one also has a bunch of adventures and stuff in it as well. Not as many as the world books. I kind of pare the organization books down a little bit, but it's basically how you could use this organization and what kind of stuff that they might get involved with when it comes to spy stuff.
Yeah. So this is a great reason to be following our Patreon. A lot of things are on there at the free level.
Yeah.
And some of the fancier stuff is locked behind the give us bazillions, millions, actually $5 to get in, or $10. But it's great stuff. And, who knows? Maybe someday we'll put it all together into a book.
I would like to.
I think that would be great. And so, hey, we got Dale in the chat. Hi, Dale.
Hey, Dale.
All
right. So, and here's, I got two more things. So, Operation Silent Harbor, which is the adventure that I ran at Page. So I didn't really have a ton of work to do on this one, because I'd already pretty much written out the notes I needed for it. It's very bare bones. It's sort of like it's kind of like a fancy outline. There's a map that I made of a warehouse. There's a couple maps I made online with an online tool that uses Google Maps and just does an overlay on it of just the location. It's nothing fancy. So that's in the beginning. And then I put in some NPCs, and I used the minion rules that I wrote to put the NPCs in there. So it wasn't a ton of work, but you know how this is. Like, even the easy stuff takes way more time than you thought it was going to take. But it's a cool little adventure. You guys should have fun with it. And then lastly, this is the free one, and this will probably go up tomorrow or the next day. Again, I don't want to rush. I want to make sure it looks good, because we're going to use it for our our Kickstarter coming up in the near future, and that is More Blood. So there's going to be basically what it is. I took 4 of the champions from the game, 4 completely made champions. I took out everything that doesn't support those 4 champions and everything you need to basically play a game. So I cut the book less than half, but it's got everything you need to play these 4 champions in a match. So you can try it out.
So I mean that's pretty amazing. We're going to be doing this as a crowdfunding in the very near future, as soon as we finish delivering everything from the Tradecraft book. But in the meantime, if you're a Patreon backer, you can actually get a big chunk of that upcoming More Blood just through Patreon.
Yep.
Yeah.
You could try it out and see if you like it.
I love the artwork. I can't remember the name of our cover artist right now, so I should have looked.
Monkey.
Oh yes, but I forget what he's British. But
yeah.
The artwork is so good. If
It's
you're not,
so good.
if you're listening on audio, just go check out the video of the podcast on YouTube so you can see this, because it's just beautiful stuff. Can't wait for it to come out.
And then I included 2 of the interior pieces that Robbie.
This is Robbie A. Burns, who's again great artist. We're so excited to work with them.
Yep. Well, that's it. That's the Patreon. I would say, I mean, look, if you honestly, you could back it right now and download everything I've put up already. There's like a year's worth of stuff, and it would be a ton of stuff. You have enough stuff to run adventures for missions for Top Secret for 2 years, I think.
Yeah. Even longer if you don't get your players to come over very often.
Right. So it's pretty solid. All right, Jason.
All right. Let's dish the dirt. Let's spill the tea. Let's do the do. All right. So we have got some scandal brewing in Hasbro land and Wizards of the Coast land, in a lawsuit that is oddly reminiscent of some of the TSR shenanigans of the 1980s or 1990s. Wizards of the Coast, specifically Hasbro, is being sued by investors for corporate mismanagement and attempts to conceal this bungling corporate mismanagement. This includes millions spent buying back inflated stock and the overproduction of what they call parachute sets. And allegedly, there were unsold 30th anniversary Magic the Gathering sets that were left to rot in a dump, like Atari with the old ET cartridges.
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah.
All right. So this is a little complicated. Let me try to walk you through this. First of all, as we know, Magic the Gathering is a collectible card game, and it relies to a certain extent on scarcity. If you could just get any card anytime you wanted, it would break a lot of the things about why people love the game. I mean, in this illustration that we got from wargamer.com, they did a kind of cutesy little thing where they show, a Magic the Gathering box in a dump with a bunch of garbage around it and a couple of Black Lotus cards, laying in there, which obviously it's a joke. A Black Lotus card is one of the rarest Magic cards in the world, and I forget what they're worth, but it's
like
more
thousands.
than my house.
Yeah. Oh, more than
literally,
your house.
I'm thinking these things have gone for 6, even 7 figures.
Jeez.
And it's all down to scarcity. It's a piece of cardboard with a picture on it. So what? But it's all about the scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
And so without the scarcity, one of the things that Magic really relies on is the secondary market, the people who buy and sell and trade the cards after they get them. You buy your Magic cards, you don't know what you're getting in a pack. You look into seeing what's in there, and hooray, I've got some stuff. Anyway, during the 30th anniversary, Hasbro did a special box, which is pictured in this. This was a special box which contained non-tournament legal reprints of beta cards like the Black Lotus. So obviously, if you had a Black Lotus in there, it was not going to be worth $1 million. But it was still a special card because it was very rare. And so, I can't get in. It's kind of like if you're into car collecting, you're never going to be able to afford an original Shelby Cobra that costs $2 million. But there's people that make replica Shelby Cobras that sell for $50,000, and they're great cars. Same thing here. You're not going to have a real Black Lotus, but you'll still have a special one. Anyways, this box that we see here sold for, this is retail price, $999.
That's
$1,000 for a little box of cardboard.
Jeez.
And one of the reasons that it was so expensive and special is because there was a very small number printed. And in fact, they even, Wizards tweeted at the time, this was 2022, November 28th specifically. They tweeted, the 30th anniversary, guys, I've been sick. My voice is weird. Sorry. And they tweeted, the 30th anniversary edition sale has concluded and the product is currently unavailable for purchase. Thanks to everyone who joined us today. So they were basically making it sound like, whoa, this was so popular. It sold out in 30 minutes.
Right.
So here's the allegation is that what they actually did, they put it on sale, realized that performance was weak. People were not spending $1,000 to buy a box of cardboard cards.
Mm-hmm.
And so they posted an out of stock message to Save Face and literally threw everything else in the garbage. And one VP, now these are all allegations. We're not making any of these statements ourselves. This is all other people's reporting. But one VP at Wizards, who was actually in the war room during this release, said that the Wizards personnel, including the president at the time, Cynthia Williams, who was president of Wizards at the time, and who, if you'll recall, has sort of left. She left as quickly as she arrived.
Right.
But they had established a protocol before launch where they said if sales are underwhelming, they're going to cut off the sale and post out of stock on the website. And when it became clear that the anniversary edition was bombing, that's exactly what happened. So that's the first bit of shenanigans. Okay. Still, I mean, not such shenanigans, right? But then they did these other things. And one of the ones that's alleged in here is that anytime Magic was, anytime there was a sale problem, basically, they had a thing called Project Parachute, which is in the lawsuit, they allege that this has been going on since 2018. So here's how it worked. Whenever another Hasbro division was underperforming, and that could be not necessarily a Wizards of the Coast thing, maybe Monopoly isn't selling that well or something. Whenever there was an area underperforming, the Hasbro executives would go to their cash cow, which was Magic, and say, we need you to plug the hole because we know whatever you print, people are going to buy. So they would have them release sets worth $40 to $80 million to plug the hole. And then they would tell, Hasbro's CEO would tell the president of Wizards, hey, the company needs money to cover these ventures. Chris Cox, who is the president, would then tell his team to release new Magic sets on rushed timelines. And the trouble is that what they were doing is they were flooding the market. So if we go back to what I said before about scarcity being the key, the reason people pay so much for these is because they're scarce. So what allegedly Wizards was doing was flooding the market with things that were supposed to be rare. And they were calling it their parachute strategy because they were like, well, we can print money by printing a bunch of these and we'll do great. And they were essentially building up a bubble. They were building a profit bubble that was going to burst. And here's where the other part of the lawsuit comes in. So Magic sales doubled during the pandemic, which is already a little weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird because you can't play it in person.
Right. I mean, you can play Magic the Gathering online, and I don't know what the situation is with physical cards and that. But the point is, yeah, the Magic sales were really going up. And between 2019 and 2022, releases increased by 150%. So revenue was up. Revenue was up by 65%. Number go up, everybody happy, line taller. But consumer interest in Magic was only up 15% on the same period in terms of the number of people wanting to play. So what it basically says is that math only makes sense if you are going back and extracting more and more money from the same group of people. And that's what the Bank of America that looked into them and concluded. They found that they were overprinting the cards, which propped up the results, destroying the long-term value of the brand. And when, in the meantime, what Hasbro did is they took these short-term results and they used them to inflate the stock price. And that's where the stockholders are coming in and saying, we call foul.
Yeah,
So,
you can't do that.
basically, in a nutshell, what they were kind of doing was running their own Ponzi scheme on themselves. You know, so I'm gonna put this in the stream here. This is a good chat from Dale. Excuse me. So Dale Innes says correctly, that seems like a strategy that will eventually fail. Sooner or later, you run out of new IP to print. Which is true. And sooner or later, people start noticing, hang on, this thing that I was paying a lot for in the secondary market because it was so rare, it's not so rare. I can find them everywhere.
Right.
You're
devaluing everybody's money, everybody's investment.
Yeah, it's like you counterfeited your own stuff. So why does that matter, right? Because it's the secondary market. Hasbro doesn't get a piece of that as much as they wish they would. It matters because it destroys the brand.
Right. I was going to say, it's not a direct profit. It's a tangential profit. Like, they profit because the community's happy and enjoys the brand and they keep buying. So you don't worry about the secondary market. That's literally just building your base or helping your base build up.
Yeah. The thing that's reminiscent of the past, you know, they say history doesn't repeat, but it sometimes rhymes. So
I've never heard that. That's good.
So this is not a case of history repeating, but there are similarities. Back in the 1990s, before Peter Atkinson came in and saved Dungeons and Dragons by buying TSR as they were about to die. The reason they were about to die, there were many reasons, but one of the biggest reasons was they also had a cash cow at the time, and that was their relationship with Random House. So they had a deal with Random House. They were doing great. They were selling fiction books. They were selling D&D books. They were selling campaign worlds, all these things. And the deal they had with Random House was written early on when TSR was just so hot and everything they made sold instantly. So Random House said, listen, we understand you're a growing company. You don't have the capital that you need to print as much as people want. So we will pay you up front for whatever you send us. If you send us $1 million worth of D&D books, we'll give you $1 million the moment they arrive, and then we'll take care of selling them. But the relationship between distributor and publisher was still the same, which is that the sales weren't guaranteed. They weren't really buying those books up front. They were loaning TSR the money on future sales.
Right.
And when things were good, it was great because all the stuff sold out. They got their $1 million back. Everybody was happy. But as TSR sales began to dip, they still needed money. And so Lorraine Williams, no relation to Cynthia Williams, different company, decided for us to make more cash, we'll just print more books because Random House gives us the money up front. And as the demand started to drop, Random House was sitting on unsold books and saying, well, we're not paying you for these. That was a loan. You have to pay us back. And TSR said, okay, we'll pay you back. Here's some more books. Give us another $1 million. Now we'll pay you back some of that money we owe you from the last bunch. You see the problem.
Yes, I do.
And eventually it all collapsed and Random House called in their debt and they essentially lost everything and had to sell themselves.
That is a prime example. That's a gamer's example of robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yes, exactly. We need to get somebody in the company named Paul just so we can do that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But yeah, so the thing is that was not the same as this. That was sort of a clumsy, how could you not see the problem coming when you did this kind of thing? This is a little more subtle because they really did sell the magic cards that they printed. It's just that what they were doing was instead of taking a loan of money from another company like Random House and then not being able to pay it back, essentially what Hasbro's done here is they've borrowed against their own brand equity. And they are letting tomorrow's problems be tomorrow's problems.
Right.
And Simon has a good point here. He says, that's what happens, when the players see the game as an investment.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, it's not a game. It's an investment. And there are people whose personal jobs, their career, the way they pay for their bills, the way they pay their mortgage, the way they feed their kids is buying and selling Magic cards. It's a market.
Yeah.
And
well,
that
like I said,
market,
I had a friend who decided to get out of playing Magic. He basically was just like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. But he had been a massive collector, and he had some really old cards going way back. He bought a car with all the cards he sold.
I believe it. Absolutely believe it. But unfortunately, in this case, I mean, we'll have to see what happens, because when this lawsuit actually gets further down the line, assuming that it actually makes it to discovery and they don't just settle out of court, there's going to be some interesting things, because they're going to actually have to show pictures of these cards in a landfill. And you can imagine once that hits social media.
Oh, dude. And whatever, they might find some other stuff going on if they do if they force an audit.
Yeah. So, I mean, I only can assume that Hasbro is going to do whatever it can to settle this out of court. Because if the longer this goes on, the longer that it gets into the news, the more it's going to hurt Magic's brand. It's going to hurt Wizards. It's going to hurt Hasbro. And frankly, when a company that big gets hurt in our industry, it's going to kind of trickle down to all of us.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot like when these people screw over folks on Kickstarter, and that hurts all of us, because it erodes the trust in Kickstarter. When there's, like our team, our stuff is almost done before we even finish, before we even start the Kickstarter.
Yeah. So just to wrap it up, the official wording here is that the shareholders have brought these lawsuits for what are, quote, breaches of, they're actually the lawsuits against Chris Cox personally, and company executives, and Hasbro. So the CEO's on the line for this too. Ooh. They are being sued for breaches of their fiduciary duties as directors and or officers of Hasbro, unjust enrichment, waste of corporate assets, gross mismanagement, and abuse of control, and violations of the Securities Exchange Act.
Ooh.
In total, the company spent an aggregate amount of approximately $125 million to repurchase 1.4 million shares of its own common stock at artificially inflated prices, causing the company to overpay for repurchases of its own stock by approximately $56 million. So we will follow this story as it unfolds.
It's a little shady there.
Don't be greedy, people. Yeah. It's always going to get you in the end, and it's the cover-up that gets you too.
Yeah, yes, it is.
All right,
well, let's go into something fun. This is really fun. We called this Rise of the Owlbear, but it's only because there's all this stuff. It's crazy what I'm seeing lately with the whole owlbear thing. Like, we were just at Paige, there's a giant owlbear costume.
Oh,
right?
The best. Whoever did. By the way, the person who did that owlbear, Paige didn't pay for that.
No, I didn't think they did. The person, they're basically just cosplaying, right?
Yeah, but I mean, they just sort of did it on their own just for this. I hope Ron appreciates that.
I'm sure he does. But at any rate, so owlbears are like becoming a bigger and bigger thing. I found this article they were talking about, and then I went online and looked up, and that was like the tip of the iceberg. There's tons of owlbear stuff out there. So yeah, I just didn't realize they were so popular. Well, anyway,
I mean, who doesn't love an owlbear?
Oh yeah, no, I get it.
Those owlbears you got up there,
very cute.
So fuzzy little guys.
These are it's PH, so Funny Plush by Kidrobot.
Kidrobot's the best.
Okay, these are 7-inch soft,
awesome,
and cuddly baby owlbears created in collaboration with Wizards of the Coast. And there's two different ones. I think the blue one is like a snow owlbear, and the other one, I don't know what the other one is, but they're two different kinds of owlbears. So that's cute. Well, check this out. There's a bunch of t-shirts, a ton of them. I just picked two. So there's Owlbear Sanctuary.
Kind of looks like Woodsy the Owl, but he's a bear.
Yeah. And then the other one, Mr. Owlbear. So this is the owl that sits in the tree with the lollipop. You know how many licks does it take? Roll. Or Tootsie Roll, yeah.
Tootsie Pops. Tootsie
Tootsie
Pops.
Pops, yeah.
This
And
is an age check here. If you
Yeah.
remember this guy, then it's time to get your prostate checkup.
Right, exactly. And it, basically, but I like the little pun here. It says, how many crits does it take to get to the center of an adventurer?
Let's find out.
Find out. Right?
One.
3.
Ooh, 3.
Yeah. So that's cute. So if you want an Owlbear t-shirt, there's no shortage of
I
them.
want that Owlbear t-shirt.
Now this is an Owlbear action figure, and it's called Mr. Owlbear. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm sorry, folks. It's not called Mr. Owlbear. We just
This
saw that
is
one.
the guy from the movie.
This is the 6. It's a 6-inch high, so it's like freaking like 6 inches tall.
Well, I got to tell you, Peter, if you've been telling people this is 6 inches,
no, sorry, Cameron,
sorry, bad joke.
Yeah, I know.
We're after 9 o'clock,
Wait
kids.
a minute, 12 inches. That's what I said.
Yeah, that's 12 inches.
Anyway, so it's a 6-inch posable figure with swappable paws.
Nice.
And this is the one, Honor Among Thieves. So
Yeah,
from the movie.
I love that movie.
That's a good movie.
I hope they get it together and they're able to make another one because that was, well, I don't know.
I would be for it. I just don't see it happening.
No, I agree with you, but and I put it all down to the haters. Nerds are the worst.
Yeah, and it was. I was just so happy we finally got a D&D movie that was like good.
Yeah.
But I could say, yeah, this is a good movie. Let's watch it.
Yeah.
All right. So then there's Owlbear dice, which is always fun.
With little owlbears in them.
Yeah, little tiny owlbears in them. So that's cute. So that's it. And look, I could go on and on. There's tons and tons and tons of owlbear stuff online. I think
Owlbears, your time has come.
Yeah, I think it's the year of the owlbear, man. So
yeah. Well, I am all for it.
Yeah. All right, next one's near and dear to your heart. Here goes your wallet.
Yeah. All right. So actually, here already went my wallet. So, Munchkin Second Edition condenses the D&D experience into a hilarious board game. All right. So Munchkin, I don't know how many years this has been around, but a lot. And Munchkin is my favorite beer and pretzels in between games, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't know. Should I explain it for people who don't know? I'll give it a very short version. I think pretty much everybody knows what Munchkin is, but basically it is a card game that replicates a dungeon crawl. Every turn you kick down the door, you fight the monster, you loot the room, you level up. It's got lots of silly jokes and great drawings by John Kovalik, and it's just a blast. I will admit it has one failure. And that is what they've addressed here in the second edition. And it's essentially there's a very grindy kind of end game. So as you go up, you're going from level 1 to level 10. And because the game has a screw your buddy mechanic where you can play cards on other people's cards that hurt what their card was trying to do. So as somebody is trying to get to that last level to get from 9th to 10th, everybody is trying to screw them over so they don't make it. So what happens is the game's going quickly, and then at the end.
Oh, it grinds to a halt, huh?
Right. In fact, there is even a saying about it that Munchkin is 30 minutes of fun packed into 3 hours.
All right.
Which is great. So I'm excited that they've found a way to fix this. But let me tell you something. I'm going to pull this off the thing here. I just got done backing the Kickstarter. I have here the Munchkin big box of loot with the Hall of Fame and everything on the back. And more importantly than this box, which is, a nice little box, not too big. Let me show you the other, if I can even lift this thing. Oh my gosh. This is the big box that I just bought. This thing's bigger than my head. This here is literally every single Munchkin card ever released. In one big box. I've been collecting them for years. I was sure I didn't have some. I was so excited. This is it. I finally have it. I never need to buy another Munchkin thing ever again. I have every card in the big box. Oh, there's a new edition.
Right. Yeah.
But okay, but here's the good news. I'm actually happy about this. It says they sent an email out that says if you have an existing collection of Munchkin core sets and expansions, don't panic. We're including instructions for using first edition cards. With the new edition. So You can get the upgrade kit that has new cards, etc. But all the old cards are still good.
Oh, okay.
So I am so happy about that because I was going to just not even play second edition if it meant having to start all over.
Right.
Because they're doing some kind of neat things. So in Munchkin itself, you go up a level based on the card that you get that tells you whether you can go up a level or not. What they've changed for second edition is actually using gold coins that you get from the monsters and spending them for levels.
Okay.
So I don't know how that's all going to work. I don't know what they've done to make the end game faster. I'll wait and see what people say on the forums about it. It's always tough when something changes. The box looks a little different. The cards look a little different, but it looks like it's all still John Kavalik's art. Brian, okay, this is a good one. Brian's asking me here, how long will it take you to sleeve all those Munchkin cards? That's the good thing about Munchkin. I don't sleeve them. Screw it. They're not worth anything. I don't care. Bend them. Who cares? I don't care. I can always get another one. So yeah, no, I don't sleeve my Munchkin cards. I treat it like a game, which is what it is. I don't collect them for money. I just love playing with a duck on my head. People give Munchkin a bunch of crap. They don't like it for one reason or another. Some people think it's not tough enough. I don't know. I don't care. I think Munchkin is a blast. You can play it with people who have almost never played a game before. You can play with hardcore gamers who've been playing for decades. The hardcore gamers are going to get the jokes. The new players are going to enjoy how fast it is. It's just ridiculous fun. I just
seems like an excellent beer game, beer and pretzels game.
It absolutely is. It is. I don't know if you can really rank favorite games, but I would put Munchkin in my top 5.
Nice. Okay.
Is it my second favorite game? I don't know. I mean, obviously, anybody who knows me knows that my favorite board game of all time is The Great Space Race by Craig Zipsey, who is the owner of Black Oak Workshop. I almost said Black Mountain Games. Black Oak Workshop dice. That's always going to be my favorite game. But Munchkin, really close second. So very excited about the second edition. Can't wait to spend even more money on Steve Jackson stuff. And you know what? It's never a bad thing when more John Kavalik art ends up in the world.
Yeah, I mean, your next favorite one might be I forget which one it was. Was it page 2? But you remember where there was that board game with the guy from Guar?
Oh,
was, showing us the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It was. I forget what the name of it was, but this is Brian Shutter, who does Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. I think it was just called Roller Derby.
Yeah,
or maybe it was called Roller Brawl. I think it's Roller Brawl.
Right.
It was a fighting roller derby game, which was super great. Yeah, thanks, Dale. We totally agree. It's a great game. And yeah, kids can play it too. I've played this game with kids as young as 6, because if they can read, they can play it, and they love the jokes. I love watching a kid just absolutely pee themselves over some of the jokes. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. So
cool. Well, hilarious is hard to do. We've talked about that.
It is very hard to do. I think Steve Jackson is maybe the only game publisher out there who consistently makes games that make me laugh.
Yeah.
I've seen people try and just, ooh, boy, you don't have a sense of humor. I'm sorry. You think you do, but you don't. They do. They absolutely do.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that's all our news for this week.
Yeah, a little bit of a shorter show this week.
Good.
I think Jason and I are both pretty tired.
Yeah. Tired of being tired. Look, guys, I've been sick since page 3. Let me tell you something. If you are going to a convention, number 1, get vaccinated. I did not get my vaccines in time for stupid logistical reasons. I regret it. Get your vaccines before you go. Number 2, if you are sick or you think you're sick, I don't care what you spent for your ticket. Stay the F home. Don't cough on me. Don't come to the thing. If I could trace it back to who gave me this thing, I would go and I would dope slap them right up the side of the head. It sucked. It sucked. Yeah. It sucked. I don't know what conventions can do to put more safeguards in place to avoid becoming super spreader events. But if anybody has an idea, I'd love to know, because I think they should do it.
Yeah.
Maybe have testing stations outside or something.
Oh my God. Oh,
You
the
know.
controversies on that.
Look, as long as it's got a bunch of jackbooted masked soldiers holding weapons, forcing you to do it, then everyone will be fine, right?
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Everybody's cool with that kind of stuff, right?
I don't think so.
All right.
All right.
That's it for this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you are a Patreon backer, then you can come and visit us in the Discord after this. Yes, thank you, Dale. It should be absolutely common sense. Brian says mandatory cosplay. Yeah, your cosplay can become your mask.
Mhm.
But I'll tell you, I'm getting myself every shot they've ever known before we go to TableCon.
Yeah.
Whew. I'm gonna. If you see me in a spacesuit, I'm not cosplaying. I'm avoiding your germs.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you all
Okay.
next week. Thanks for joining us, and talk to you later.